Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing a huge pantry overhaul. I am pulling a whole lot of stuff out. I'm getting rid of food that we just are not using or eating. There are probably a few things in there that have expired. Some things I can give to the cows and the chickens. But most of all, I want to free up some of the prime real estate on the shelves of my pantry. Things that I don't need to use often, like maybe once a year. They don't need to be on the shelves of my pantry. They need to be in like a top cabinet in the kitchen pushed to the back somewhere. Since I know some of you, like me, like to watch organizing and cleaning videos, I thought I would bring you along. And this is also the perfect time for me to start taking inventory to set myself up for success with the Three Rivers Pantry Challenge I'll be taking part in for January and possibly February. I haven't decided yet. All right, let's get started. You definitely need to see the before in order to appreciate the after. This is the disaster that is my pantry right now. Things have just been placed in there wherever there is room. There are plenty of things that don't even belong in here. I just needed them out of the kitchen or maybe out of the laundry room. I am so excited to go through all of this and finally put things where they belong, get things out of the pantry that shouldn't be in here, and better utilize these shelves. This is a big pantry with a lot of square footage for storage, but I am not using it to its fullest potential right now. One of the biggest things that drives me nuts in the pantry is I end up piling things on the floor. Look at all of this stuff. I've got my grain mill down there, some bleach and fabric softener. These bins behind the door keep it from opening all the way, which drives me bonkers. We've got towels that we use outside that I stick in this back corner. Some of these items will stay in the pantry. They just need a better spot. Anytime I start deep cleaning a space, the very first thing you have to do is put everything back where it belongs. There are always things in the laundry room and mudroom area that do not belong in there because it's just kind of a dumping ground. It's a catch-all. The kids, well, and my husband and myself tend to just drop things when you walk in the back door. Right on the counter or on the mudroom bench. So I'm putting everything back where they belong. And then I am going to go through all of these coats and figure out which ones can maybe go back in the closet. Some things may need to be washed. And then others can go back on the hooks to be used regularly because obviously it's winter. All right, now that I have the laundry room clean and tidy, I'm going to mess it all up again. My main goal for today with the pantry is to basically empty out the bottom two shelves and get the floor tidy and organized. Somehow the floor and the bottom two shelves of the pantry tend to be a catch-all as well. When my kids are helping me unload from a grocery haul, or I'm just trying to clean up the kitchen, things often just get put wherever they'll fit in the pantry. You can see from this angle that second shelf is a disaster. Like, it's so disorganized. There's random bottles of wine. There's 3/4 empty bags of chocolate chips. So I am going to find better permanent homes for these things. One of the things I'm going to do is refill my sugar containers so that I can remove those bags of sugar from the pantry and put the sugar where it belongs in those 2-gallon buckets. Now I am putting everything back and I am reorganizing. I can't believe how much I'm able to fit in here and what I ended up taking out. All right, let's see what progress we have made so far. So if you remember, I struggle so badly with the floor in here. This floor was covered in stuff. This stack of buckets still bothers me. Maybe I'll move them over here to this corner, or maybe even just right here. I don't like that I can't open the door all the way. And we usually put our outdoor towels that we use to dry off the cow when she's wet or before we milk, which is something you may not think about. But if you are milking a cow when it's pouring rain, you have to dry her off completely, which is actually quite challenging. Otherwise, that nasty, dirty rainwater that has covered her whole body is dripping into your milk, and then it is not drinkable. I've got all these. My mom is the queen of reusable shopping bags, so I try to keep a space for those when she sends them my way, and they are actually quite handy. Okay, so Let's see if this is actually wheat. Yep. Oh, and look at that. There's not a whole lot left. Okay, so it's one goal right there, is to finish that up. And then I think this other bin under it, wow, look at those more bags. I didn't even know those were there. Oh my. And there's another bucket. I think this is beans. Yep. Beans and lentils, split peas. So this is on my list of things to can. It would be great to empty this bucket out and use it for my kamut, whole grain kamut that I have in bags. But for now, I think I'm just going to get it out of that corner and work on finishing this hard wheat this week. So let me sweep this up real quick and we'll continue looking at the progress. Sometimes you just need to repackage things in order to fit them in a better space. So this is a big box that originally contained 200 bags of oolong tea. I use oolong tea to make the Trim Healthy Mama Good Girl Moonshine, and I like it a lot. And this is a very economical purchase as far as the quantity versus the price. But this big box just doesn't go nicely anywhere. And we have a specific drawer in our island that we use for our different hot teas and stuff. So I think I'm just going to put all of these in a gallon bag. It is a rather tight fit, but it'll start to shrink down shortly, and see if I can stick those in the tea drawer without it taking up quite as much space as this big box. I don't know. As I'm looking at this now, I'm thinking, well, that bag is just about the same size as the box. Okay. That felt like 2 hours later. My battery was about to die, and then I realized I was really hungry. So this corner is cleaned up. I have those 2 giant jugs. They were probably from Sam's, and I need somewhere to put them. I'm pretty sure that is another bucket of hard white wheat. So as soon as this one is used up, I will put the kamut in that one, and we will start to use that hard white wheat. These shelves are looking so much better. These used to be my disaster, like the most disastrous part of the pantry. I started to reorganize some of my kitchen drawers and cabinets and things, and take things, like I just want so badly to make things more efficient and functional. I got the Lazy Genius Kitchen book for Christmas, and I watched her little mini series on YouTube. The author is Kendra Adachi. She also has a fantastic podcast based on her book, The Lazy Genius Way. I would highly recommend it, no matter who you are, married, not married, kids, no kids, old, young, it doesn't matter. There are so many ways to benefit from her Lazy Genius principles. But anyways, I realized I hardly ever use my pie pans and the cake pans, like just not very often. And they were taking up valuable real estate in one of my drawers in the island, where I keep the lids to my mason jars, which obviously I'm using on the daily. I also keep my 2 most used bread pans that make my big sandwich loaves. I keep those in that drawer. And so it was time to move these pie pans and cake pans out. And the pan on the bottom there is a springform pan, like for making homemade cheesecake, which I actually did over Christmas break. But that was probably the first time I've used it in years. So these now have a final resting spot in the pantry. I'll know where to find them when I need them, but it is not very often. So they can be put away out of sight. Same goes for these loaf pans right there that are also inside some foil loaf pans. I need to move these marshmallows. I think they're just leftover from what I was anticipating making over Christmas break, but I do have some Aldi Rice Krispies, so I will probably make some Rice Krispie treats at some point as like a weekend treat for the kids. All right, I've got 6 or 8 packages of pepperoni here, and these all have a use by date of, let's see, May of this year. So it's still 5 months away. We will definitely go through that pepperoni. We'll probably go through just about 1 a week during the pantry tour, because we'll be making either pizza or calzones on Fridays. All right, moving around here. I've got 3 of these double packs of organic unbleached all-purpose flour from Costco, which I finally discovered is much cheaper than the organic unbleached all-purpose flour from Azure. So just FYI, I don't remember the price, but I remember it was significantly cheaper, maybe even close to half. Same with the organic sugar. 2 big packages of powdered sugar. Now it's probably going to take me 3 years to go through all of those. I thought I was going to need more over the holidays, and I did not. Here are some extra jars. I did end up putting some extra jars up there as well as up there, but these will be used soon. I'll show you in a minute the dried goods that I put in the kitchen to tackle this week. And this whole shelf right here is where those dried beans, which I will can, and they will no longer be dried. They'll be cooked and jarred and ready to use, which is super convenient. But this is the shelf that those will go on. And I do have some extra cardboard so that I can stack them too high once I get them pressure canned. This shelf is another one that was a disaster for quite a long time. That is our other 25-pound bag of Redmond's Real Salt. Goodness, I think it's been at least 2 years since we bought the first 25-pound bag, and we haven't even finished it yet. So that's pretty incredible. So I just went ahead and that was on the floor for quite a while, like for 2 years. So I went ahead and gave it a space on the shelf to get it off the floor. These are some vintage stainless steel milking pails. They only hold a gallon each, but they're much easier to carry in than one big pot full of 2.5 gallons of milk. So I do like to use them on occasion, especially when Josh is not home to help me carry the milk when it's extra heavy. I am probably, since I'm making a goal of using up more of our whole wheat, I'm probably going to move my Nutri-Mill back to the the laundry room counter, which has been nice and cleared off. So I'll probably move it back out there just so that it's more convenient to grind my wheat. When things are not convenient, you tend to not use them. So that's a change I'm going to make. Graham crackers, wheat thins, those are just left over from the holidays. I'm very tempted to make another cheesecake because the recipe I have is phenomenal. And if I do, I will share it on here, but that is what the graham crackers are from. I made the crust for that. Believe it was Christmas. And then I've got 2 big jugs of apple cider vinegar, olive oil, avocado oil. I didn't realize I only have 1 and like a quarter of these 20-pound, or maybe they're 18-pound bags of basmati rice. So I need to get another one of those next time I do a restock. I'm pretty excited about this potato basket. This was sitting on the floor right over here, and it had a couple bags of random stuff. There were things piled in it, like a 25-pound bag of kamut, the organic unbleached all-purpose flour from Costco was like stacked on top of that. But I know that potatoes do well in baskets. They need air. They also need to not have a whole lot of light. So I need to make sure that I'm keeping the door closed. But I am hoping that these 30 pounds of white potatoes are going to last us for the month of January. I think they will. We don't tend to use more than 5 pounds at a time. These are my most used stainless steel mixing bowls, as well as a bread basket underneath. When we have company and I'm serving rolls, I like to put them, I put a flour sack cloth or a cloth napkin down, and then I put the rolls inside that basket, and it's pretty. And then I don't always have my pressure canners front and center in the pantry, but right now I plan to use both of them. I have 2 identical ones. This one is actually my mom's, but she doesn't ever use it, so it lives here. I plan to do a whole bunch of winter canning in the next several weeks, so I wanted that to be easy access. That bucket right there with the green lid has the Sam's Club, like the Members Mark at least I think it's Member's Mark brand. Anyway, it's the buttermilk pancake and waffle mix that you can get from Sam's Club. It's a 10-pound bag. I usually buy 2 or 3 at a time and keep that bucket filled up. Those blue boxes over there are Rice Chex and Rice Krispies, all from Aldi. And that plastic container against the wall, the plastic packaging, those are seaweed chips that I thought would be a good idea and was not. It basically gives you the taste of like sushi or a poke bowl without all the other good stuff. Like, it's just the taste of the sea. So thankfully one of my twins enjoys them and she's been eating them. The Vitamix blender we do use on a regular basis, so I kept that there. A variety of rices here. These little mandarin orange cups were purchased since my little ones will be going back to school on Thursday, so those will go in lunches. I do have some random corn chips, like tortilla chips, as well as 2 packages of pretzels that I had purchased to do Christmas goodies, but I didn't need nearly as many as I purchased. A basket of onions, chicken broth, other home canned goodies. So this is huge progress so far. Now let me show you what I've got in the laundry room. All right, as you know, it was nice and clean before I raided the pantry, and now look, this is bad. All right, this blue picnic blanket, I am not sure where that's going to live. I'm thinking there is a top shelf in my master closet where we can put that. I don't want it in the attic because then we'll never use it. But I also don't want it out in the shed where, bugs can get on it and stuff. So I'm thinking the master closet. This is a 25-pound unopened bag of Kamut. An empty mason jar case. Here are some other mason jars. I think these are going to find a home on the top shelf of the pantry. There is an opened bag of Kamut, and I don't love it. I definitely can mix it in with whole wheat and all-purpose flour and use it. I mean, it's not going to go to waste, but I was hoping I would love it more, and I really don't. So I'm just being honest. These things will continue to sit right where they are. That's our egg basket, sweet potatoes from the garden, and these are sweet potatoes from 2022 that have produced a ton of slips. So probably in the next couple of weeks, I am going to break those slips off and start to root them in small mason jars on my kitchen windowsill. So they will be ready to plant at the end of March. I can't believe it. Here are some other jars. Man, this was a wonderful surprise. These other half-gallon mason jars, those are what we use for our milk clients. And when we are straining milk after milking each day, twice a day, and sometimes we just run out because, like right now, I need to go deliver milk to a friend about 10 or 15 minutes away, and she should have 4 clean jars for me. But if by chance she doesn't have them ready and clean, then I'm giving her 4 jars, but I may not get 4 back right away. So it's nice to have extra. So I was really thrilled to find that. These are just 2 what do you call them? Canister jars. I love the blue one. That's like a Pioneer Woman canister. But I'm not sure I need to keep them. I like them, but I don't have any use for them. And the lids don't screw on. They're not secure. Like this just comes right off. It's glass on glass. So I'm really thinking I need to offer those up to a friend or just take them to Goodwill. I haven't decided for sure about the blue one yet because it's so pretty. And it does have a gasket, so the lid is a bit more secure. I don't know. All right, then I've got these pinto beans that will need to be pressure canned. And I'm going to put the rice paper and these pistachios in the kitchen because I want to use them. Like, we like to snack on pistachios. My little ones like to take them as a snack to school. And I love making summer or spring rolls or summer rolls with the rice paper. I just need to get some of the other ingredients that I need. Like, we're out of cucumber and I've got most everything else to make some really good spring rolls. So we'll see if I can get that. But if I put it in the kitchen, it will remind me to actually use it. All right, then we've got look at this. This box contains seed potatoes. I'm so excited about that. These were just little bitty potatoes, kind of the rejects that we pulled from the ground at the end of the summer and set them aside. They're just in a single layer so that I'll be able to tell if any of them start to go yucky. But it looks like they're all pretty cured and are just producing eyes and will be ready to go in the ground at the end of March. That is I think it's like 3/4 empty container of lard. This is our French fry cutter, an extra Instant Pot insert, and I'm getting rid of this bad boy because I don't need another one. I have 2 Instant Pots and those inserts are perfectly fine. There's no reason to hang around or, keep a second one. And then I got this for Christmas. This is the KitchenAid mixer ice cream maker attachment. So this whole bowl goes in the freezer for several hours, and then it's got this extra paddle attachment that goes inside, and it makes homemade ice cream really fast. No more rock salt, no more babysitting your ice cream maker. I'm pretty excited about that. So I've got to find a home for this. It'll be obviously in the pantry somewhere. The apple core peeler thing, as well as the popsicle mold and my hand crank wheat grinder and my pasta machine. Those can all go in the big, deep cabinet above our fridge. So that's where those are going to go. This is a stack for Goodwill. There are 3 half sheet pans and 2 perfectly good lunch boxes that my teenage girls would not be carrying even if they did use one. This is some barley that I'm going to mix in, this and this one, that I'm going to mix in with my cow feed. She will enjoy that. This is an incubator that I need to return to a friend, and here are some more jars. As well as, check this out, these will be officially 10 years old in Christmas of 2024. Oh my word, it's too funny that they put the date on there. 2014 Christmas cookie plate bags. I bought several of these packages. They go 50% off at Hobby Lobby. And this is what we like to use when we make goodie plates for our friends and neighbors around Christmas time. So I will save those for this coming December. I cannot believe we are in 2024. All right, so that just about sums up my pantry issues. I'm going to push those sugar buckets back into that corner over there. That seemed to be a good resting place for those. Look at this jar of water glass eggs that I found pushed to the back of the bottom shelf of the pantry. It has 3 eggs in it. And I can tell you right now, I'm not going to crack those open. They're probably over 2 years old, which I would bet you they're probably fine. But I'm not taking that chance. If you've ever smelled a rotten egg, you don't ever care to do it again on purpose. So the pantry is looking fantastic. I can now see everything that we have. I can take inventory now, and I will be doing the same with our freezers. Let me show you a sneak peek at our smaller freezer in just a minute. Okay, I don't know if you recall, but this freezer had gotten left open and was covered in frost, and I had to defrost the entire thing, and I emptied it, and now it is nice and organized, and I can see everything that we have. So I'm going to be taking inventory in here as well. We've got tons of meat and lots of veggies for the pantry challenge. I'm not exactly sure what this is. Oh, it's ricotta. Really? That's not ricotta, that's milk. That must be milk that had gotten left in the freezer by accident. All right, I'm going to take care of the rest of this mess because I cannot end on this note. I need to end with a nice, clean and tidy laundry room and pantry. Unfortunately, I am also now making a mess in my kitchen. How does this happen? It gets so much worse before it gets better. But I will have it all taken care of before the end of the day. Now, my pile that needs to go out to the car is growing on the countertop over there by the door. I will take that stuff out shortly, although my car is needing a part right now, and so my car might be sitting in the driveway for a little while, a couple days at least. All right, that didn't take quite as long as I thought. Everything is put back where it belongs. I've got that stuff on the counter that needs to go out to my car, but otherwise, look at this fresh, clean, and tidy space. The only thing I have left to do is to mop and take those things out. Look at the finished product. It may have taken 4 or 5 hours, but this has been needing to be done for months and months. It really needs to be done a couple of times a year. But it feels great to have this project complete as we start the pantry challenge. Thanks for watching.